This is the 28 to 70 f2 lens from Sony. This is one of the latest and greatest G Masters they've come out with. This lens is absolutely amazing. I picked this up about a month ago, and this is an expensive lens. And I justified it because it's absolutely amazing at just about everything that it does. Everything that I threw at it over the course of low light and high action and event, this thing is amazing. Whenever I pair it with the A7R5, it's really unstoppable. It's almost as if the A7R5 was the camera they had in mind for the 28 to 70 f2. But then there's a new kid on the block. There's a 50 to 150. Yesterday, all I could see on my feed was, just, as I was scrolling, just seeing 50 to 150, 50 to 150, 50 to 150. It was all over the place. And even friends were texting, reaching out, saying, hey, have you seen this lens? Have you heard about this lens? Are you going to buy this lens? And the reality is, as much as I see the value of a constant f2 throughout a range like 50 to 150, it's not a lens for me. And just because I don't shoot with the 7200, the longest reach I have on a lens is actually this guy. This is the 135 1.8. I love this lens. This is the sharpest lens I own, I think, and it's also the most reach I've got because I don't do a lot of sports. I don't do wildlife. I really work kind of in the nonprofit space, and so I don't need something like a 50 to 150 whenever I've got the 135 prime. But here's the deal: if I didn't have the 135, the 50 to 150 is definitely something I would consider, especially whenever I'd be able to pair it with the 28 to 70 f2 and a 50 to 150 f2. Like, I really wouldn't need any other lenses. The only way I think Sony could complete that trifecta is going wider, right? So before, the trinity of lenses was 16 to 35, a 24 to 70, and a 7200. But now Sony's making waves with their 28 to 70 f2, just kind of copying what Canon did about 6 years ago. But this lens it's lighter, it's smaller in every possible way, and it's just a better lens just because technology's advanced by 6 years. And now they've got the 50 to 150. The only thing they can do now is go wider, which that's probably something I would be more interested in if they went wider. If they went something maybe like a 14 to 35, that would be amazing. Hold on, daughter's here. What do you got, baby? She wanted to show me her Elsa. She's learning to do hair with clips and things like that. You want to show them? Okay, come here. Tell them your name. Say your name.
I don't want to.
Okay, well, show them what you want to show them. Who's this?
Elsa.
Elsa. And whose clips do you have in here? Do you know the clips? They are
Aurora and Jasmine.
Aurora and Jasmine.
This is Aurora.
The pink one.
Yeah, the pink one. And the purple one has a little bit of pink on it, but this part of it has a little bit of pink. And this one has a lot of pink, this side has a lot of pink, and this side has a lot of purple. But the sparkly part of the bow is just pink. This part of the bow right here is just purple.
Yeah.
Why are you sitting on your camera case?
Because it's the only chair, it's the only thing I've got that brings me to this level where I can talk to the camera. I can also have some of my desk in view.
Why? I need to put that.
You what? No, don't close the door. Oh, I'll come out in just a minute. So today is a day with my kids, and I absolutely love that I get to spend time with them. As a working professional, I have the flexibility of my calendar to do the things that I want to do and kind of rearrange my schedule a little bit. This is Jackson. Say hi. Tell him your name.
I got the boy.
You're the Jackson boy?
And I'm another one. I got boy.
And the sauce boy?
Yeah.
How old are you, Jackson?
Yeah.
No, say it again. Say it. Say how old are you? Say, I am 3.
I am a bee.
You're a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play with that.
With this?
This sticky hair.
All right. All right. See you later, buddy. The hard part about doing this photo and video work at home, because my kids have no boundaries, and truly I don't really need them to, because I don't work from home very often. I typically try to keep that kind of out and about. That's neither here nor there. We're talking about lenses, right? The 50 to 150. back on track. So I don't think that's something that I need, the 50 to 150. The events that I'm doing, if I'm in a conference room or something like that, I can get most of what I need with the 135. The downside of the 135 is this thing is heavy. The 28 to 70 is lighter, I believe, than the 135. This lens it's heavy, and it's so much of it is at the front. So whenever I'm holding the lens, if I'm holding it for a long day, my arms get tired, my back gets tired. But they've done a great job designing this lens. Most of the weight seems to be at the back, where it's not cranking my wrist, it's not hurting my back. This lens is incredibly light for what it is. A 50 to 150, it's a little bit bigger. It would be a great lens because then I could get rid of an 85 and a 135. But I really love shooting on prime lenses. I love the 135. I love my Sigma 85 1.4. If they came out with the version 2, I'm pretty confident it'd be a no-brainer, but I don't really know how to improve on that lens other than maybe getting rid of just the slight color cast. All this to say, you don't need the latest and greatest lenses to be a working professional, to make a living doing photo and video work. Lenses are great and technology is going to keep advancing, but here's the reality. Image quality, I think, has kind of stagnated a little bit. And so with lenses, even some lenses that aren't the latest and greatest, or even maybe a little lower tier, you can do everything that you need to do. The 50 to 150 is a fantastic lens. If you're a working professional and you've got an extra $4,000 lying around, go for it. But it's not a lens that I could recommend anybody just go out and buy just because of the price tag. Now, it accomplishes so much of what people would need. If you're a wedding photographer, if you do portraits, headshots, whatever, that's an amazing lens. I love the versatility of a 28 to 70. I've never really shot on a zoom other than my 24 to 70 for video. I haven't really shot photos with it in years just because I didn't feel the need to, because I had my prime lenses that were better in low light, had a little bit more background separation. So I don't know, 50 to 150, it's a great range. And the fact that they've been able to keep it the size that they did and the price at $4,000 is not an immediate turnoff for me, but it's not a lens that I actually need. So I'm not going to do it. I might rent it just to see what the hype's all about. But let me know, what are your thoughts about the 50 to 150? Because it really is a revolutionary lens. Like, that lens doesn't exist before yesterday. And it's pretty incredible. I wonder what the sales are going to look like just because it is so expensive. But again, the reality is you don't need a 50 to 150. If you go out and get it, I have no doubt you're going to love it. If you are a wedding photographer, event photographer, portraits, headshots, you're going to love that lens. And again, I'd probably love the lens if I didn't already have the 135 G Master. If I didn't have this lens, not a doubt in my mind, I'd want to pick up the 50 to 150. So kind of rambling a little bit, but the reality is, if you have the means, go out and buy it and you'll probably love it. If you don't put yourself in a bind financially speaking. Don't put your family in a bind financially speaking just so you can go out and get the latest and greatest lens, because you don't need it. I had a friend yesterday reach out to me, and the first thing he said was, $4,000 seems worth it. And I mean, to some extent, I think he's right. The value proposition is definitely there, but it's not a lens that he needs. Like, he does event coverage, but he doesn't do constant, consistent event coverage where he's making an extra $4,000 a month. And so for that, he doesn't really need the lens. I think it'd be a justifiable renting purchase, but not to outright own it, at least not at the stage that he's in right now. So let me know what your thoughts are on 50 to 150. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. All right, love you, bye.